I bore witness to the distressing aftermath of Siad Barre's tyrannical regime in Somalia. I traveled across the landscapes where many innocent lives were taken. I encountered survivors bearing the physical and emotional wounds of the millions of landmines that were planted in our homeland. I listened to the stories of orphans and grieving families left shattered by the atrocities of Barre's genocide. This destruction claimed the lives of several of my own family members. Amidst this devastation, however, I also saw the brave spirit of the Somaliland people. Through our unwavering unity and unyielding resilience, we have transformed the ash of despair into the bedrock of a nation. Despite the ruins of schools, homes, roads, and livelihoods, our people have never relinquished hope. Our collective determination forged a path towards democracy and progress that the economists held as, quote, East Africa's strongest democracy. Our democratic country has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with Ethiopia that involves Ethiopia leasing sea access from Somaliland for 50 years in exchange for financial considerations, closer economic ties, and Somaliland receiving its long overdue recognition. Shortly after the MOU was signed, the U.S. Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, Ambassador Mike Hammer, stated that, quote, the status of Somaliland is an issue for all Somalis, including Somalilanders, to decide. Reflecting on America's own history, one can't help but to draw parallels to the struggle for independence. Ambassador Hammer, I wonder how George Washington would have felt if the world powers 2.5 centuries ago declared that the status of America is an issue for all English people, including Americans, to decide. No, America, the status of Somaliland is not up to all Somalis. It's up to Somalilanders alone. To suggest that our fate should be dictated by Somalia runs contrary to the very ideals America was built upon. Somaliland is far more independent from Somalia than America was from Britain in 1776. The nation that celebrates Patrick Henry's Declaration of Liberty or Death is the last country that should be arguing for our independent nation's future to be decided by the people, by people with no connection to Somaliland other than their desire to control it. How can America claim to be the defender of democracy and freedom while denying more than 6 million people the right to determine their own fate in matters that solely concern them? I am not naive. I understand that America has invested decades and billions of dollars into the failed single Somalia policy. I see clearly that Somalia vehemently opposes the MOU because, much like the DP World deal before it, Somaliland's ability to engage in and execute such agreements is proof that Somalia's sovereign control over Somaliland is on paper only. This MOU is a stark reminder that U.S. single Somalia policy has faltered. The emperor has no clothes. I love America, and I hope that it will realign itself to defend democracy, liberty, and self-determination. As President Woodrow Wilson said, national aspirations must be respected. Peoples may now be dominated and governed only by their own consent. Self-determination is not a mere phrase. It's an imperative principle of actions which statesmen will henceforth ignore at their peril. America should see its history, its own history, in the courage of Somalilanders in restoring their sovereignty 33 years ago and establishing a system of governance in which its people truly participate. And to all of my Somalilanders, Hadrawi Allah ha u naxariistay ayaa waxa uu yiri wax la cuno sabiib baa ah nin samaystay waan faan leh waxaad haysataa saas ah guushu waa dhankiina cidda faali kartaana waa idinka. Thank you, Domanti.